As into the previous video where we had the wavelets compared to the other reality transforms, thereupon we have been introduced to the statement from the physicist Werner Heisenberg into the year 1927 that he stated the position and the velocity of an object cannot be measured exactly at the same time even into the theory. In terms of signal processing, it means that it is impossible to know simultaneously the exact frequency and the exact time of occurrence of its frequency in a signal. As we are well aware about the signal representation that we have already covered into our first chapter, whereupon we can have the different ways to have the representation of the signal. So graphically we prefer with the help of the two axes, one vertical axis to represent the amplitude levels, another horizontal axis either to represent the time intervals or the frequency values or the distance as a parameter or the phase value, angle value as a parameter. So that way either we can have the time domain or frequency domain, the spatial domain in general. So in these representations, the signal is the same, but way of showing that particular information is the different one. And while analyzing any of such signals, few of the applications require the information with respect to the time as well as with respect to the frequency. The Fourier analysis lacks the information with respect to the changes into the time. Only the frequency information is mostly covered in that particular analysis procedure. That is why we have the wavelet analysis tool. As in the previous video, we have taken the example of understanding the wavelet analysis with respect to the real world example, as like our eye catches the trees from the scenario where we have the forestry first of all and the trees therein. So in the similar way, when many of the attempts were made by different scientists parallelly, in general we can say that they wanted to capture both the low resolution forestry that was into the background as a repetition. Repetition is with respect to the periodic type of the signal that we are covered up till now in all these learnings. And the another component of interest that it was the trees. Now here we have the trees into the form of the high resolution objects, the trees, the individual localized variations into the background here. So here, as this was the intention to work upon such a scenario, only the solution to deal with this particular problem, as the Fourier analysis was failing to do the required things, the option was to have splitting of the signal into its components. So here, as we have the two components into the image, as the repeating background having low resolution characterization, and another one that it is the objects, which is here a tree of high resolution, and it is having the localized variations into the background. The option that it is to have splitting of a signal into the components that were not the pure sine waves. See here, this is the very important point. As into the Fourier analysis, whatever the signal under consideration that it was, the representation was with respect to first of all the infinite number of sines and cosines here. So here the component is not represented by the pure sine waves. It would be possible to condense the information in both the time and the frequency domains. So this is what we are referring to the wavelets. In the previous video, I have shown you the graphical representation of simple wave compared to that of the wavelet. So wave that can be continuous in both the sides, having a constant frequency and constant amplitude, whereas the wavelet is localized into the time as well as it is localized into the frequency also. So therefore, whatever this idea we have been talking to split out a signal into its components, this is the idea that would ultimately be known as the wavelets that I have already shown you the graphical representation. So the idea of wavelets as a mathematical tool to operate onto a signal now is known as a wavelet transform. So this wavelet transform allows the time as well as the frequency localization. So both the things are achieved by the wavelet transformation, hence they are more popular than that of the Fourier transformation. So this is the most important point here. Now the wavelet analysis, the wavelet transformation, as like the Fourier, is a family of many similar kind of the tools with little changes here. So into the wavelet family, we have the Dobbechi's wavelet, we have the Morlet wavelet, we have the Haar wavelet, and we have a lot more to study thereupon. So in this family, there it is the first entry that is quite very much simple to understand. First of all, to step into the understanding of the wavelet family, that it is the study that has been put forward by the Hungarian mathematician named Alfred Haar, which is further called as the Haar wavelet, that was introduced into the year 1909. So the Haar wavelets, we shall definitely have a visualization into the graphical pattern here. So these are the functions that consist simply of a short positive pulse followed by a short negative pulse. So one wave cycle we know, and here it is the wave cycle as a square wave here. So half of the part is there onto the positive side and half of the part is there onto the negative side. So here it is the graphical representation of the Haar function that has been denoted by psi as a function of t here. So into the time domain, here we have been representing here onto the horizontal axis the independent parameter t. It is shown on which the amplitude level represented psi as a function of the independent parameter t. It is represented here. Now you can see here we have only one wave cycle. So this is half of the wave cycle having the positive 1 amplitude for the time duration 0 to 1 by 2. Whereas right from 1 by 2 up to 1, we have again the maximum amplitude constant. So onto the negative side, here we have the representation by -1. So right from 0 onto the time axis up to 1 onto the same horizontal axis, whatever the amplitude changes that we see, right from 0 to positive 1 and then to negative 1, this is nothing but the Haar wavelet. So the general representation of the wavelet was made into the earlier video. Here it is the first entry into the wavelet family, that is called as the Haar wavelet here. So that it was the introduction to it as simply a short positive pulse followed by a short negative pulse that you can visualize here. Now next to these short pulses of the Haar wavelet, these are basically very simple to teach as well as to understand the wavelet theory, but application point of view, these are very rarely been utilized practically. The reason behind is that the use of the Haar wavelets mostly yield the jagged lines instead of the smooth curves. So whatever the types of signals we see, mostly they have the random patterns, and mostly in real time they don't follow any specific vertical or horizontal direction. So because of the Haar type of the wavelet function, the jagged lines are mostly introduced here, whereas the expectation was to have the smoother type of the curvatures. So because of that, there it is the limited use of the Haar wavelet, but it is the first entry point here. Now more information with respect to the works developed by many of the researchers here, and while managing the Heisenberg's uncertainty. Heisenberg's uncertainty, I have already made it clear as it is the topic title here, that the observation by that particular scientist that the simultaneous knowledge of the exact frequency component and that of the time was not possible, and to manage the same, to have a trade-off in between, the researchers have put forward various studies and those have contributed into the wavelet family here. We have few of the informations, those have been as like the milestones into the development of this wavelet family. So in the very first, we can have a note of the year 1930, where the mathematician known as the John Littlewood and R.E.A.C. Pelley developed a method of grouping the frequencies by octaves. So this was one attempt to manage the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. The next attempt into consideration can be made for the year 1946, where Dennis Gabor, a British-Hungarian physicist, introduced the Gabor transform, that is very analogous to that of the Fourier transform that it was popular earlier, and that separates a wave into the time frequency components or coherent states here. Next to this work, in the year 1970s and that of the 80s, the signal processing and especially the image processing researchers were collectively having their introduction to the own versions of the wavelet analysis by few of the names, calling them to be the subband coding, the quadrature mirror filters and the pyramidal algorithm. Subband coding and quadrature mirror filters we are already been introduced from our second chapter, that it was a multi-rate digital signal processing. I hope you can understand it better way. So this also have contributed to the wavelet family, as like the pyramidal algorithm is there mostly with respect to the two-dimensional signals, the extraction of various information components, those we can call the features at different resolutions, can be called as the pyramidal analysis, or now the tool can be called as in mathematics the pyramidal algorithm. Lastly, the attempts collectively the scientists those have carried upon till date, the scientists have decomposed or transformed the signals into the parts here, or we can call them to be the pieces, and these pieces could be localized to any time interval and could also be dilated or contracted to analyze the signal at different scales of resolution here. So in this particular statement, the two words, the two terms are very much important, that it is dilated or contracted here. So with the help of the dilation and that of the contraction, the shape of the wavelet could have been changed so that it matches the original signal for the representation purpose. So hereafter in the chapter wavelet transformation, these two terms will be very frequently utilized, the dilation and contraction. Definitely the details while using the wavelet tool over the signal representation and further analysis we shall see into the next lectures. So here we conclude the topic of Heisenberg uncertainty. So basically whatever both the informations were not been possible to simultaneously have by the earlier mathematical tools, so the mathematical solutions should be as such that a trade-off should be maintained there. So it is just to have management of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.